The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of RMCOnAir.com or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Knowledge of self.
Radio.
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 Lift the mind, boy, I'll bring out the sun.
Peace. Welcome to Knowledge of Self Radio. I'm the God, Jarul Allah, and I'll let my brothers introduce themselves.
Peace. Jakil Knowledge Allah.
Peace to Ray Allah.
And we got two special guests today. We got the Soul King, Gamar Allah.
Peace. Gamar Allah, Soul King, you know what it is.
And, of course, the God, Life Allah.
Peace. How's everybody doing out there?
Yeah, so we got a great show for you today. We're going to go ahead and get into, the history, a little bit of brief history of hip-hop and how in its initial phase it was more about upliftment and how it got grafted into what we know or some people consider hip-hop in this day and time. So the show is actually brought to you by Global Position Solutions, and you can get with them at globalpsolutions.net. And if you would like to call in, the call-in number is 323-965-1600. So before we get into the meat of the show, we're going to actually deal with some current events. So I know my brother's got some stuff to drop on y'all.
Indeed. So I'll hit you guys with the first current event. Basically, in India right now, we've got a mass wave of suicides basically happening. And this is really considered or concerning the farmers in India, mostly around cotton farmers. But as it persists and goes on and continues, it'll definitely probably go on to be more agriculture, fruits, and vegetables. In any event, Monsanto is selling these farmers cotton on false accusations. Basically, they think that they're going to have bigger yields, and the cottons are going to reproduce seeds that they're in turn going to be able to replant. You're talking about your poor average cotton farmer. The dude doesn't have a lot of money. So what ends up happening is he buys the seed, which after your first yield, you also have to then go back and purchase more seeds from Monsanto. You can't get them from anywhere else. Not only that, you can no longer grow your own cotton seed on that land anymore. It's now kind of just been tainted, and so only Monsanto type things will grow on there. And so these farmers, they're poor, and so they invest all their money. They don't have any money back to re-up. And so they're unfortunately killing themselves as a result of that.
Wow. Yeah, I've been I listen to the Sojourner Truth show in the morning, Tuesdays through Thursdays, and they were talking about that, and there's like other factors that are going along with those suicides too, like I believe that they're minimum wage is like $38 a month, translated into U.S. dollars. After that earthquake in Pakistan, I believe that was Pakistan or Baghdad, right? The building that fell, collapsed.
Yeah, I want to say it was Baghdad. Yeah.
It was Baghdad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so once that building collapsed, it made the world pay attention to India and just that whole dynamic.
Right.
What people don't understand that with the global economy, there's not a global currency. The currency is still based on what they value it as.
Right.
Like for me, my family's from Haiti, so translated is like when I send my father $20, it's like $400 in Haitian money.
Right.
So this is what we're dealing with a global economy. It's kind of like they kicked up the slavery game to a higher level because you get paid for your work. But if the money doesn't provide you enough to live, then you're just going to be going check to check. And it's just at a global level.
Right.
And with things going at the way that they're going, the farmers are already facing a lot of competition globally.
No doubt.
And now you got the fake seeds and the fake food coming in the game, and it's like
messing the game up.
Yeah. It's a lot of different things that's behind that dynamic. I think due to the density, like the global population of India alone is what they got billions of people in just a small area.
Right.
So it's kind of like every man for himself, and just imagine that also being a factor. Like how much are even they getting paid?
Right,
So,
to
it's crazy.
produce these farms. And
Yeah, it's a show topic in itself. So we'll have to definitely revisit that topic. So I know Teray got some signs to
heavy.
drop too.
Well, basically the most recent news events surrounding Lauryn Hill. I'm sure many of you remember that she had been brought up on charges of failing to pay taxes between a certain tax period. And she's recently been sentenced to begin a prison sentence on July the 8th for
Whack.
3 months.
Super
and then when
whack.
she returns home, she's supposed to be on 3 months probation.
3 months. But didn't they give Wesley Snipes? How long did they give Wesley Snipes? Because he was
remember.
in
He was
for
in
like
there
the
for a
same
minute,
thing,
though, I
right?
think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
3
they try to
years.
get everybody
Right.
with that. That's the WAP thing.
Right.
Well, you got to know, once again, this is something we talked about earlier in the other parts of the shows, that the global economy, the IRS is all in one unit. You know what I mean? The IRS is nothing but a dummy front for what's really going on. You know what I mean? And they put the fear factor, if you don't pay these taxes as a public citizen, then you're going to jail. So what do most people do? They pay it.
They pay it,
Not because
right.
they have to. It's just they don't know no better. And that's why it's important to understand the laws, understand sovereignty, understand what this is really about. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, then you get caught up in the matrix. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
that's
So-
real.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it is like that, man.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So today's quote is from Dougie Fresh. It's hip hop is supposed to uplift and create, to educate people on a larger level, to make a change. So obviously, you'll have more. If you don't already have an understanding of that foundation, you should have that after this show today. So
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So some of the questions that we're going to strive to answer on this show is what has led to hip-hop's decline over the last 20 years? What is the difference between hip-hop and rap music, and where does underground fit into that? What was hip-hop when it first started? What does hip-hop's message consist of today? What does rap's music's message consist of today? What is the difference between mainstream rap music and underground hip-hop? What are the principles of each? How has hip-hop and rap music influenced original people's behavior in American society? Why are underground artists not received in the general public in American society, such as mainstream artists? And can you make it selling your own music? So, those are some of the things we're going to tackle. Obviously, it's a lot, so... so some of the references that we use for this is actually a book called Born to Use Mics. We have a couple documentaries that we looked at. Something from Nothing, The Art of Rap. That's on Netflix. If you want to check that out, it's a good one. So yeah. So
Yeah, we also got a DVD.
Look, can I add something?
You can check out. Yeah, please do.
Okay. What makes you feel that hip hop has declined over the 20 years, or just what do you see as the decline? What's missing, or what fell out of place?
To me, I would say it probably deals more with it being more of a mainstream situation. I think hip hop's still alive, but it's just not so mainstream as it was maybe in the 90s and late 80s. You know what I mean? Like,
All right.
That's deep.
yeah.
I'll add on. I think maybe not so much declined. I think the real hip hop, I don't think you can ever kill that. You know what I mean? Because of where it came from. And so as long as there's people who are there, that's going to always continue. But what is different though is, you know, the kind of like the guy was saying, the commercialization of hip hop, or what is we call hip hop. You know, you got the battling scene, and then you can go YouTube videos of dudes battling, and it just kind of seems like a front, kind of like it's not the purest of what hip hop kind of was at.
Right.
And it wasn't. It's not on some like I'm walking down the street and they see somebody that might be rapping and be like, oh, I could go up to that person and I could definitely beat him in a battle. Like, it's not on some I'm just challenging you type stuff. It's like, okay, now it's about money. You know what I mean? Like, you have these grand battle situations. What are they called?
I can't remember the name of them.
You know, they have like
not the Smack DVD ones,
Smack
but,
DVDs. They got stadiums full of people now for that. You know, for things like that. You know what I mean? So.
Right. The only reason why I asked is because I just seen Public Enemy get inducted to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah,
Hall
the
of
Rock
Fame.
and Roll Hall.
And I don't know
right?
if y'all heard the speech and the preceding speeches before then, when like Quincy Jones got the award, and then it fell through. Belafonte came and Spike Lee introduced. But you know, to me, hip hop is the blues. What happened to the blues? What happened to gospel? What happened to jazz? What happened to every rock and roll, even itself? You know, it was like all these art forms that we created, we never were able to take ownership of them.
Yeah, that's real.
And so we're talking about ownership. We're not talking about just the creation of the music. We're talking about the licensing, the copyrights, the distribution of the music.
Right.
It's not in our control. It's not in the community that created its control. Just like jazz, just like rock and roll, just like, because that's what it is. As far as like, we've always been creative, and music has always came from a place where black people, it just innate in us.
Right.
The problem is the people that control those aspects don't live our way of life. They don't. They don't understand.
Segue.
Yeah, they don't understand who we are.
That's a good segue to where I stand in that, in terms of the decline. I worked in the music business for a very long time.
That's right.
You know, worked at Rush Artist Management, which is the hub of this whole thing, other than Bronx River Houses, for those that know. African Bambaataa and Kool Herc. Those were the pioneers early. Russell Simmons early. Curtis Blow early.
Right.
A lot of people don't even know that history. So in order to understand the decline, one of the things is that people don't understand the history of it.
Right. So that's actually, the first segment. So let's get into it. So
Yeah,
the
let's
80s. The 80s, right?
Yeah. Well, before the 80s.
Before the 80s.
Okay.
Because you can't get to the 80s unless you start dealing with the 60s.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or the 50s. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to understand this hip-hop thing evolved out of something. The civil rights movement, having equal rights, be able to voice your opinion, letting you know what's going on in your community. Then we move now to the 70s. Now we know what happened in the 70s. The Nation of Islam, Honorable Elijah Muhammad died, and what happened? The Gods and Earths, who was at that time, began to continue to teach in the street. You know what I mean? Begin to share this knowledge. And then here come now the 75s and now the 80s, where we had gangs back home in New York, the Black Spades and all of that. And then that evolved, and instead of stabbing you, well, let's go through a battle with DJ.
Right.
Let's do a DJ battle.
Right.
See who's the best DJ.
Right.
Let's go see who's the best MC, master of ceremony. Now, when you say you're a master of a ceremony, you better not understand what the ceremony is. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of young people today, a lot of the names that we could bring up right now, they don't even have a clue of who those people are.
And I think one of the things that I want to kind of touch on in terms of Busta Rhymes' comments. I mean, Busta Rhymes made a comment on a rather popular documentary. Right now, the name escapes me, but he said that, you know, why are all of the people who are not relevant important? He said if they haven't kept themselves relevant, so what? Why should we remember them? So we can think of a long list of pioneers, right? And we're trying to tell young people about these people, but to them, so what? They're not making anything relevant. They're not making anything that I listen to. So why is it important? This is just kind of a question for everybody.
Yeah.
Why are all the pioneers important when they're not relevant in today's music?
Well, it's just like, let me take that for a minute and we could pass it around. It's the same thing like those in blues, jazz, those that are definitely relevant, because without them you wouldn't have the now. You would not have what you have now if you don't understand the relevance of them. They paved the way so that we can have a little bit more voice. Lamar mentioned about how we didn't take control. We have control of everything that we create in our mental mindset. What we don't know is the business side. I used to do a lot of lectures in the business. I used to ask young people, what type of business y'all want to be in? Either the music business or the business of entertainment or music. And a lot of them would say, I want to be in the music business. Well, that's a separate thing from the business of music. And you got to know that. So the relevancy of those people who paved the way are critical. You know what I mean? And to understand their what? Legacy, as well as their lineage, as well as their livelihood. You know what I mean? This is a money game. But how you gonna make money if you don't have value in something that's not worth writing something for?
Or you don't know the rules and the regulations of the game.
Right now, rules and regulations. That's deep.
Right. Of the game. And, you know, and I had to throw it in there like that just to be clear. This is the importance of knowing your origin in this world, because
no doubt.
With that origin comes the foundation. With that origin comes the rules. Okay, how are we going to keep control of this?
All the
what
laws.
are they going to be the principles behind this? And the thing is, and it's funny because Quincy said it at that night. He said, all these things we controlled, but none of those kids who control it know we started it. You got, I mean, it was like they were talking to them in the crowd. Like, you think rock and roll, you inducting us and you accepting us finally, but no, we've been here before you. And we're going to be here after. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? But the thing is, because the knowledge wasn't passed on, or the importance of people coming before them, and then Quincy would name off names of jazz artists just off the top, bam, 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 bam.
You know what I mean?
Because he wanted you to know, hey,
Monk,
go get,
you know what I mean?
Go find out about
Blakely.
then.
You know
Then
what
you're
I mean?
gonna find out about jazz as an art. Go find about hip hop in the early days, so then you respect it as an art and not just a. And that's the reason why they don't want you, or the pioneers, or they say they're not relevant. It's because they don't want you to know how it started.
They don't want you to know. Right, they don't want you to be in a social equality, which is to understand the laws and how it's governed. Because once you understand that, now you don't need them, which is why independence is the key.
And I bet you they know who all those forefathers are of hip hop.
Quincy said everybody around the world knows what we do except us. Why would he say that? Everyone around the world, and this is just as true for hip hop, because why I said it's declining, Europe, Germany, Sweden, Ireland, Iceland, New Zealand. It's
Japan,
huge. They don't want none of that watered down stuff that's coming. You understand? They want it. Okay, we know the foundation. We know the spirit that's going to come out of it. That's what we want. We don't want the, you feel me? There's a difference between just a cheese and Kraft American. You know, they know about. They don't want the cheese that don't melt on the bread. They want the cheese that melt when you make a grilled cheese. You understand what I'm saying? They want the organic or natural, but we're in corporate America now. We're in capitalist America now. And anything that we, anything that could mass produce is always going to lose integrity. Every time. You do it with shirts, you do it with shoes. You know what I'm talking about.
Food, everything.
And that's where the fake food come in.
That's it.
They know, hey.
Or what you should say, go down to Canal Street, down in Broadway, New York, get all the, what I'm saying, all of the replicas.
Fake Gucci, the Gucci.
Yeah.
I want that
LA.
Gucci.
And I used to be out there. I ain't gonna lie. I had to get my cell on. I gotta get that money. As y'all know, I gotta get it. I did it.
But that's what it is. Let's kill the origin. Let's kill the foundation so that you're lost in the sauce.
Right.
You're not going to want to find out what it is, so then you're going to mimic it or try to create something different. Like with the movie, one of the documentaries, Something from Nothing, when Lord Jamar said the schools started taking out musical instruments, and then we just started playing records, and that became the instrument. Think about that. Jazz was a way for us to eat. And we were eating big over there in Europe. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need to stop this.
The Chitlin circuit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The Chitlin circuit.
They're
Yeah, old school
eating.
with that one. Yeah.
You know, they're eating. We can't allow this. You understand? Because we need what? We need a mass amount of people, blind, deaf, and dumb to who they are, so that we can rob them and live in luxury.
That's it.
No doubt.
That's it.
And that's a good segue.
That's real.
So on that note, let's go ahead and get into this break because it's getting a little heated in here.
Oh man, I need a.
All right, so we'll be right back in 2 minutes. Peace.
So King, beat by default. And I just walked in and was like, man, these niggas so counterfeit. Fucking marijuana chicks, I come with the artist fit. The era of designer kicks. My people thoughts elaborate, savages run rampant with it. Selling tricks just to get chips. While niggas tricking chips just to get chicks, my flow is liquid. You get evicted if you're unemployed. Teach the truth to the little girls and boys. Cause after the laughter, then it comes tears. When niggas say, yo, police don't come here. Sipping beers, then we pour it out. See, we could go the former route, I'll show you what the law's about. I hope you're recording this. Hang with warriors, nigga, vainglorious. My words all right, reserved, tagging on the curb. Smoke a little herb, vision not blurred. First learn what you got first, then be the owner of the universe. Yeah. Teach the truth, God. Teach the truth. 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 Black and brown make original. Without a job, shit makes you a criminal. Without money, chicks really ain't into you. See, my interview is just an interview, but without revenue, who the fuck you gonna tell it to? These little niggas on their own shit. Get on the mic and spit all kinds of whack shit. On the microphone, every verse ain't gotta be a Bible code, just to make your thoughts explode. The grimy like Figaro, rhyme thrower. Snakes in the grass, get the lawnmower. The Port-au-Prince, mom from Port-au-Prince. Been dope ever since I heard evidence. Say when worst come to worst, my people come first. So peace to the gods and peace to the earth. Teach the truth, God. Teach the truth. Teach the truth, God. Teach the truth. Teach the truth, God. Teach the truth. Teach the truth, God. Teach the truth.
Peace. Welcome back to the Knowledge of Self Radio.
Peace.
I'm the God, Jarul Allah.
Peace. This is Teray Allah.
Peace. Life Allah.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, the actual song that just was played was by the God Gamar. So he's an MC. So as you can see, he's very talented. But yeah, before we got into the break, we were getting into hip hop and dealing with some of its fundamentals and its origins and stuff like that. But now we're actually going to dig a little bit deeper. So what we're going to start with is just the principles. What was the principles in the beginning of hip hop?
Oh, who you want to take
We
that?
gotta agree.
Yeah, that should be life. He's definitely been in the game seasoned.
Well, here's the thing. The origin and the foundation of hip hop, it goes real deep. And the reason why I say that, because like I said, the manifestation of this whole thing came out of anger, came out of, a lot of hostility, and the only way to release it was in the street. And the way we did it back then, some of us anyway, was hands on. You know what I mean? Then it said, okay, why are we killing ourselves? Let's transform this into a medium. And this is when you had the b-boy break dancing, and this is how we did it. You know what I mean? Now, as a young person, before I became the God, which was my natural birthright, and as you transition, I was involved in the Zulu Nation. You know what I mean? Zulu Kings chapter 5.
Zulu
Peace.
Nation.
Y'all know who it is. Africa Islam, Africa Bambaataa, and all the, Zulus out there. And there used to be a crew called the Ball Busters. If y'all seeing this, y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know what it is. And there used to be a big conflict with that. You know what I mean? And so now we see this hip-hop thing, man. It's not just an art. It's a way of life, man. And rap is what you doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hip-hop is a movement. You know what I mean? And when collectively moving together, that's why it's been so impactful. You know what I mean? Now, I was an artist too. I was a rapper too, as we all transitioned. And then I got more on the business side. And my first job working was, as an intern under Leo Cohen and Russell Simmons at 298 Elizabeth Street, Rush Artist Management, called RAM. You know what I'm saying? And we man, the things that we was doing back then was just phenomenal. And I learned so much. Chris Lighty started the same time, you know what I mean? Allah bless his soul, because, he's gone now. And a lot of people came out of that. A lot of the crews, a lot of the groups, leaders of the New School, Tribe Called Quest, everybody. So I think what needs to happen, man, is that people really getting into this or saying I'm a hip-hop artist, I'm a rap artist, understand the difference. If you're a rap artist, then your way of life is hip-hop. You know what I mean? If you a businessman or a woman in this, then your way of life is how to take this intellectual property that's been created by us and then transform that into a security measure for a legacy, for your children. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you, because, man, I can go on for days and days and days about this, but the reality is, man, when we take full control by understanding the dynamics of the business side of this, everything changes now. You know what I mean? I remember one more thing before we go on to the next questions. I remember telling a lot of artists back then, what you need to do, if they giving you $50,000 or $100,000, take $25,000 and put that in that company. Get some stocks. Now, you ain't going to be around forever as an artist, but you'll be around as an older. Yeah. And you'll take other people's money. Take the money they put you to go in the studio with, take $25K and say, I want $25,000 worth in your shop. They don't have to know who it is. Now, you out of the game, but you still making money.
So basically what you're saying in the origins, it was more of a positive movement.
Without question. It was morals, values. It was when you said you was a hip-hop person or a rapper, it really meant something. Right. You know what I mean? It meant that you had something that people wanted. You talking about Public Enemy. Now, Public Enemy, I don't know if you remember the song, The Black Steel and the Hours of Chaos.
Right.
Yo, when you heard that song, you know what I mean? I got a letter from the government the other day. Yeah. They wrote me and said, yo, man, come on, man. Man, you know what I mean? Just the way Chuck delivered it made you like, what in the...
He's saying what I feel.
Yeah, and so it made a connection to the anger and bitterness that was being felt in the community. Right. And that's what it was supposed to do, to uplift you, give you a sense of consciousness. And then again, the gods and earths, the 5% Nation did so much work that nobody even talks about to influence hip-hop. And that's something we really need to talk about. Because if it wasn't for the gods and earths, seriously, there wouldn't be no Wu-Tang. There wouldn't be no Rakim. There wouldn't be no Big Daddy Kane. Yeah. It wouldn't be a lot of them, you know what I mean? King's Son, for those that know him, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them came from, you know what I'm saying, the nation of gods and earths. You know what I mean? And influenced many people around the world and also around the universe. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, and I think when I was coming up as an MC, a principle was about originality. And once that principle was grafted and diluted, and that's why we have what we have now, because biting you would get called out on it, and when you got called out on it, you couldn't retaliate with hater. You know,
but also,
I mean, hater is like the kryptonite to biting. Like,
but also in the real, man, you would get slapped in your face. You know what I mean? Like really a hand slap. You know what I mean? If you was, you know what I'm saying, coming off wrong. It wasn't, oh, let's go do the battle thing. It's like, yo, meet me over here, man, if you real. You know what I mean? And if you ain't real, I'm gonna slap the shit out you. Like for real. I mean, you know what I mean? For real.
Yeah. No slapping now. You can't slap on the internet. The only thing you can do is type them. I'm gonna leave a comment.
Hey, but you can do capitals,
no slapping.
though.
Yeah.
You do caps lock.
Oh my goodness, the caps kill me. I don't know if you yelling or you just want my attention. I don't know what's going on.
It was real back in the 80s, man.
Yeah.
Real. I mean, really real, man.
So
and you know, go ahead, God.
Nah, so it basically under those terms you couldn't come in and just really fake it.
Nah.
Wait,
you asked KRS-One back then. When he said, you know, the bridge is over, which was I live in Queens, so I was a little offended. You know what I mean? You know, those that lived in Queens, you know what I'm saying? You know, Manhattan keeps on making it, Brooklyn keeps on taking it, and then they said Queens is faking it, so it
a whole borough.
It fucked us up. Like, for real? And then MC Shan and Roxanne Shante and the whole Marley Marl crew, you know what I mean? It fucked us up. So we had to go back and, you know what I mean? We had to, not me, because I wasn't in that era as far as rapping, but on the business side, anybody from Queens had to show and prove now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Had to really get out in the gutter and make it happen. You know what I mean? Because if not, you representing a whole borough.
You know what though? That's a good point that you bring up. I think nowadays in hip hop, and you kind of Gamar ran into that too. Nowadays in hip hop, no one really has to show and prove. You know what I'm saying? You have a big company behind you. They put some stacks up.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you the greatest MC.
Go up to him and be like, go up to 2 Chainz, talk about let's battle.
Yeah, let's battle.
He gonna laugh at you. He be like, what?
Battle.
Take this coke buddy and smell. I'm out of here. But
even the names. Yo, what's 2 Chainz? No offense.
Well,
but you got people taking names from drug dealers they don't even know.
it's CB4 on a massive level.
That's it.
Boom.
It's CB. Rick Ross, all of them, that's CB4. You remember the movie CB4?
Yeah.
They said CB4 works, and that's another thing too for the mass production. It's formula. It's a formula. Nah, man, you too nice. We need a gangster. We need this. Really?
Jerry Curl juice and some
check out,
mokes and we good.
Fear of a
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy because I'm from the West Coast, and what he's speaking on is definitely real. When you was either you in LA, you was either a gangbanger or whatever else. But when you said you was into hip hop, it was kind of like they into that type of thing.
Right. And the gangster would actually be cool with you.
Right.
Like, oh, you're a hip hop.
Now it kind of intertwined where you didn't know if he was a gangster, if he's a rapper. Man, he's both. Right. So then now that whole this is an alternative, that's out the window.
So how did that coming together actually manifest itself?
Well, let's put it this way. The game of entertainment was controlled by real men. We'll call them the men behind the scenes. In other words, the mafia, right? It ain't no secret. You read the Hitmen, you know what I mean? And you see that they had control over distribution. Mm-hmm. You couldn't get in unless you gave that right up. And who was controlling that? The unions. Who was controlling that? The politicians behind the scenes. There was a lady, I was working at Warner Brothers Records. There's an artist y'all might know, Ice-T. Had a song called Cop Killer. Right?
Yeah.
Big controversy about this. Huge. At the same time, there was a young man and another MC that came to my building, mainly just the one man, Damon Dash, telling me about Jay-Z. And I remember telling Damon, I can't do nothing with Jay-Z right now because why? I got C. Soloris Tucker. She's no longer with us, the politician who was saying, oh, this is an atrocity, So when we talk about this hip-hop thing, and we talk about the politics that go with it, and the ones who's controlling it, and how the element of the street went in and said, look, this is a street thing. You know what I mean? You talking about the street? Oh, let's get street. So what did the street people do? They said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my money and invest my money in an artist.
Right. And now we in.
And now we in here. I'm gonna back you with money. I'm gonna back you with the street cred.
Right.
The street
Here, go get
credibility.
your CB4 right.
Right. Yeah.
You finna tap them pockets.
Yeah. And so now you got gangsters from the street now sitting with men around the boardroom. But what they doing is they not speaking the language of the people behind the boardroom. They bringing the street language into the boardroom. Now the people in the boardroom is like, yeah, y'all motherfuckers is making me money, but y'all talking a different language.
Right.
We can't allow that because it looks bad for our foreign investors. So now we go to the underground. Well, we don't really need distribution. We got the World Wide Web. We don't really need marketing promotions because we could do that on our own. We don't really need radio. You know what I'm saying? Because
the radio looking.
Right, because the radio is controlled by government, some of them anyway. So what we going to do, like my man Master P, we're going to sell shit out of our trunk.
Right.
In the community, and we're gonna go ride around, do a little tour, sell our music, do a little, couple of gigs, and we're gonna blow up. And then now, the people who's watching this, the people behind the scenes are saying, "Yo, these motherfuckers is making too much money. Go ahead and let's invest." Now, here come Cash Money Records. I'm at Universal Records now. Wendy Day, for those who don't know who Wendy Day is, very serious person in the game, brought Cash Money in, right? They was making moves already. You got Montel Limpton and you got Mel LaWinter, I should say. Mel LaWinter was running the game. Brought Cash Money into Universal, and now we got what? Who we got now? Lil Wayne, you know what I mean? Nicki Minaj, you know what I'm saying? All these folks. But there's people who make things happen, man. And the biggest thing we got to understand, this is a money game now. If you don't have nothing that is substance of numbers, there's no checks being written. And so you got a lot of people now taking matters in their own hand. You know what I mean? Saying, you know what, we don't need all that. We're going to do it our way. And that's what it's about.
That's how I'm in it. That's how I'm in it because I went through that period where, when Barbershop MCs came out, Liquid Crew, all of that was about the bubble.
Yeah.
Exhibit just made that song with Snoop, and it was like he was indoctrinated basically in that game because it was like, we got to be gangster to sell records.
Right.
Ain't no other way. And you know what I'm saying? And this is a real conversation. And it didn't pan off then. But now, because of the internet, because I have access to create music and control the way that that I put it out there, I got to create a way. I got to make a way. I got to make a lane. And it allows you to do that. Now, I'm not looking for this because it wasn't for the type of rap I make anyway.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But I know that if people relate to it and can identify with the story of it, then I can, maintain myself. I don't need all of that. I just need my lane, and that's it.
Right.
And that's what people got to think about. But a lot of people want everybody lane. So to get everybody, you're going to play the game the way that it's played.
Right.
You're going to have to. Yeah, so you know what? That's dope. So as a West Coast MC, how do you see consumerism? You were kind of touching on it. As far as it relates to rap and hip hop.
Well, now it's kind of like the audience is a younger audience, and the internet has its good and its bad. Bad, the music out there, a lot of people want free. I don't want to give you a chance. I want to know what you're doing, and and then you got those cats that got the corporation money behind them that's putting free songs mixed, mastered out, complete for free.
Right.
The little man can't survive off of putting out a bunch of free material. So it's kind of like you have to create another avenue by branding yourself. The music introduces you to people, and then you do other things to make the money. Whereas before it was the music made the money, but it went a lot behind CDs and vinyl, and that whole era is gone. You know what I'm saying?
Me and Jarul were building about that outside as far as back in the day, every Tuesday, you'd go to like Warehouse or wherever your spot was to go get the new
Hours.
Tower Records, right, to go get the new stuff that came out. And a lot of times you didn't know who it was, unless it was someone who did a collab on your favorite MC's artist, But other than that, you were picking it up, looking at the album cover, trying to see if it was dope.
Mattered.
When I was coming up right down the street, a historical spot, and it's not there no more.
Life.
Martin Records.
Good life.
You remember Martin Records? He was right there on Pico. And he was a good, he used to, school us to the game. damn, you need to get your dat. You got to get it vinyl. You got to get it pressed up. And that was his thing. He was it was just a pop store, neighborhood, hip hop, brand new. He was always up and current. And it's like, as soon as he was gone, it was like, that was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know,
Well, you know, technology changed the whole game, man. It changed everything, man. And then there were those who was being embraced with this thing, and they just said, nah, it ain't gonna change nothing, and now they lost in space. You know what I mean? You gotta change with change, or you're gonna die. And that's why the decline of those people are no longer valid, because they never changed with the change. They thought they could stick to the game as they remembered and think that was going to, you know, create a security net, and it didn't.
Okay. So on that note, the decline we'll get into when we get back after this break. Peace.
okay.
Peace.
Stay away from him.
Dad, listen to me!
Did you hear what I said? You stay away from him.
Sonny was right. The worker man is a sucker, Dad. He's a sucker.
He's wrong. It don't take much strength to pull a trigger, but try and get up every morning, day after day, and work for a living. Let's see him try that. Then we'll see who's the real tough guy. The working man is the tough guy. Your father's the tough guy.
Speedzilla, Project Mayhem, Soul King. What you get when you fuck with illiterates, inconsiderate, two-faced hypocrites, out for ourselves where we can all have a little bit. Traded Cleopatra for Queen Elizabeth. He'd rather live in luxury and not teach, preying on the people, preying on the weak. Put a ghost spell on you, make you sleep, put lettuce on fast food, telling you it's good to eat. The public school system's really weak. Fuck that, really sucks like a baby on tits. My Negro dialect hasn't gotten me a job yet. Too much profit, no material objects, yeah. I guess for every cane there's an Abel, every mic there's a turntable. For every shooter there's a shooter aimed at you. You can even read Matthews, I'm gonna be on you like a tattoo. I just wanted you to know that it's all about the soul. I just wanted you to know that it's all about the soul. I just wanted you to know that it's all about the soul. I just wanted you to know. Yeah. Born supremacy, born supreme with the Hennessy. Words get murder in the third degree. Judged by the melody, a felony with a strike. Hurts like an elbow knee strike whenever I write. Hotter than a crack pipe or foil if you smoke meth. So nigga, if you wanna bite, you can choke this. If you want a dope beat, you can pump this. If the game's close, you can play post with this. Harder than Charles Oakley, but stay low-key. Watching out for police, because I smoke trees. You know one thing I know about degrees. I got a brother from PBGs, got a brother from 60s, got a brother from family, even bounty hunters. But mathematics made us all brothers. We know that God loves us, but we rather just hate. I just wanted you to know that it's all about the soul. I just wanted you to know that it's all about the soul.
Peace. Welcome back to Knowledge of Self Radio. I'm the Taj Rule of Law.
Peace. Peace. Jaquil Nashallah.
Peace, Terrell.
Yes, so King, y'all just heard Wanted You to Know off my Supreme Era Volume 2 album. It's the Crusade for Hip Hop, bringing it back.
Life of Law. Life of Law. GPS is in the building.
Yeah. So as we move on, we get a little bit of short on time. So I had some definite questions that I would like to ask. So how do y'all see, I guess, the Tupac, Biggie, death, East Coast, West Coast, all of that? How's that affected how hip hop is in this day and time?
Well, again, God, I mean, we know our lessons, you know what I mean? They always want us to think it'd be different, you know what I mean? Right. Tupac and Biggie. I remember Tupac, man, again, when I was at A&M out here. And after he played that movie, y'all know the movie. What was the movie, if y'all remember?
Juice,
right? Bishop was the character.
Right.
When I met Tupac for the first time, just when he was dealing with Digital Underground, he wasn't on it like that. That doesn't mean that he didn't have that in him, because he came from revolutionaries. His family was that. But after that movie came out, and then it blew up based upon the concept, when you started seeing Tupac now, it wasn't what I remember him with Digital Underground.
So he realized, okay, that image sold. So if I can sell myself that way, I'll make money.
And what made it even more recognizable, this guy wasn't no fake guy. His family, his mother, his stepfather, Geronimo Pratt, all these revolutionary brothers that really was ready to die for the cause for real, he was with them. You know what I'm saying? So they had a serious influence. So he knew that he couldn't sell out, but he had to what? Be himself. And he transformed into his natural self, and that's what we saw later on. You know what I mean? And that is what made the connection with people in the street real. Oh, this brother is a real brother. Now here come Biggie. Biggie was getting his hustle on. They met. Tupac was in the game. Next thing you know, boom, boom, boom. And then you got people inside your inner circle, man, that stir up a lot of nonsense. And so what happened? It's all entertainment. We'll keep them fighting and killing one another, keep the divide, and conquer mindset on them. And both of these brothers got knowledge. They might not have been 5%ers per se, but they definitely was influenced by those who had that knowledge. So they wasn't stupid. But they allowed the situation to surmount, and the next thing you know, now we got 2 deaths of some serious brothers, man, that I'm going to tell you, Tupac and Biggie changed the rap game too. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways. You know what I mean? And we will never have another Biggie. We will never have another Tupac. We have some people that may want to be on that same time frame like them, but you can never have them again, man. You know what I mean? As my man said in the Bronx Tale, wasted talent.
Wasted talent. And also, like,
you know what I mean?
We was talking about earlier with the, an official street person putting money behind you and kind of like validating that aura. You understand what I'm saying? You kind of like, okay, let me put a stamp on this persona. Right. You understand? Where this was an outlet, and they could have probably just battled it, and it would have been done if it was in different circumstances. But I think with just the streets, with the certification, with you understand? When Pac did Me Against the World, that was an incredible album.
Yeah, that's a dope album.
To me, All Eyes on Me, and this is just my personal opinion, was Suge, his stamp. Now it's different. You understand? Now it's extra turned up because you got what? And I know how the gangsters is out here. They'll get you in, they'll turn, get in your ear and turn you up. Like, I did this, I did that. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then next thing you know, you getting, let me be out there. And and I think that played a part in it too, like ego, pride, in that street. Yeah.
Even like in the streets, how you mentioned God, I know a lot of people on it. Like, yo, you can't be both a Biggie and a Tupac fan. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta choose your side.
It's like either Lakers or the New York Knicks.
Right. Or like
Celtics.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or even like Lakers and Clippers. You know what I mean? Like,
now. That's only an argument now. It was never about 5 years ago. Come on now. I'm like, Clippers, really? The junior varsity team, y'all really telling me about the Clippers right now? I get so hot. I said, if y'all never seen y'all team wave on Figueroa, they ain't the team. You know what I'm talking about?
But speaking about basketball, you got a lot of basketball players that want to be hip hop artists.
Cedric Sabalas.
Everybody want to be a rapper now.
Michigan,
just play ball and be alright.
ESPN showed this thing on the Michigan Fab Five. Yeah. They were so influenced by the hip hop culture. You know how they do. Yeah. Black people are all. You know what I mean? So now it gives you and Jalen Rose was talking about it. He said they gave us this persona that we were supposed to be this and that, and my house is a drug house, and he said it wasn't that.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of people living other than themselves, man. You know what I mean? If I pay you $250,000 or $1 million to play ball, stick to that. Don't come out here
with a record
as if you know what to get with people that really know. Pay your money to get the right service and get it in. But don't be an artist. Be a basketball player out there. All right? That's all you would want to be hip-hop artists. Stay in the lane.
So let's move a little forward in time now. How you guys see the state of hip-hop, today? We went started way back, in the 80s. And so how do you see it as it relates to today?
It's been grafted, God. It's been grafted. Technology, as the God mentioned, we not in control of it. You know what I mean? It's out of control. It's total chaos now. I was just telling the poetess here, like, I don't even know what this shit is no more, man. I mean, everything everything is real. You know what I mean? I don't even know what it is. You got, you know, I mean, you know, I saw some shit yesterday. You know, my right leg, you know, my shaky leg. I mean,
You like, what kind of bars is these?
Yeah. Yo, they coming up with anything. Yo, my house is on fire. Yo, man, call the fireman. Now that's a song.
I think the
Or
precursor.
the one-word hook.
Yeah.
The precursor. One of the precursors to that was
Really?
was Nelly and his whole nursery rhyme type of. You know, he came with the
Can't
down,
even
down,
blame
baby.
just
you know what I
one.
mean?
Nelly,
But
can't
like,
just take all of
It's,
that.
it's you get in where you fit in, man. And, you know, again, you know, hip-hop, just like anything else, about timing. Right now, hip-hop needs something serious, something conscious. You know what I mean? Because the consciousness is changing.
Right.
You know what I mean? We talking about the global economy. Right now, globally, people are waking up a little bit here and there.
And
You know
I just did a show out in Long Beach Thursday night, and they were a young crowd, turned up, you know, and I'm sitting there like, oh man, this ain't my lane, right? But I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna just zone them out and do my thing.
Yeah.
And I had so many people come up to me towards the end of the show that it was like, yo, they need it. They just can't find it. So, you know, it's probably out there. We just can't find it. Let's get the smoke and mirrors. Let's get the fogs, you know, because it's the dumbed down generation, the dumbed down era. Everything is designed to take away our thinking, process.
I was building with my pardon, so
one of the things, because I use hip hop in my classroom.
Okay.
And you know, a lot of times when I have the students, they have to read the lyrics. Many times they can't even follow the lyrics because of the I guess the degree of vocabulary. So if I give them something like a Ghostface Killah track or Rakim, you know, there's some of those songs as far as vocabulary, it's really sophisticated. And some of them say, you know, I can't, I lost my place. So, I mean, going back to him saying dumbing down, you know, you listen to what we're listening to today, it's impeding our literacy.
Well, that's what it's created for.
2 Chainz gave me a headache one day. It was like, what? Money, get long, and all this. What? I'm finna get it. Where's the Advil?
2 Chainz. So now your mental is locked up in chains now. You know what I mean? And you're now trying to mimic this guy. Walking around mimicking this guy, you know what I mean? So, you know, right now, what we're doing here, Knowledge Self Radio, man, and what y'all brothers are doing and brothers that are conscious is so critical right now. Those that are watching this, you need to tell a friend about this show. You really need to tell people about what this is about, man, because we got to wake up now. We got no more excuses. We got everything out there for us, man, to wake ourselves up, and we still want to walk around like zombies. Don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, and it's killing us, and they sneaking in laws that's cold as ice because we over there trying to pop champagnes and all of that. They passing laws that are detrimental to us.
Right.
You
so
know what I'm
in this
saying?
day and time, it's used as another means as a distraction. It's keeping us blind.
Entertainment, right? Keeping you blind so they can master you.
And if you're listening online and you tweet anything, I got a CD for you, so get that, you know, listen
I want
to the
say
show.
something right here too, man, as we get ready to segue out, right? There was a brother that I would help promote. His name was Intelligent Hoodlum, Tragedy, right? Had a song called Arrest the President.
Arrest the President.
It was deep. Deep brother, man.
Love
I know
that
if he's
song.
out there, you know I see you, God. Yeah, I know what you on. But we need to get back to that, man. We need to go back to serious things that's gonna wake us up, man. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people out here is sleep, man. Sleep.
Yo, guys, so
Putting
that
them to
actually
sleep.
segues into a question I had real quick. In the chat room, someone asked about Kendrick Lamar, and then they were asking if they ever heard of his mixtape.
Yeah.
One thing I kind of want to bring up about the whole like mixtape versus mainstream thing, I think that gives an opportunity for MCs or real MCs to make music for the fans. You know what I mean? Because when you're on a major label, there's obviously a persona that they want you to act like. You know what I mean? Either you're the gangster dude, you're the drug dealer, you got all the eyes, whatever. Right? But on the mixtape scene, you get a chance to be you. So I want to see how you guys see that, especially Gamar as being the MC in the room.
Like I said, you have a lane. Listen, everyone has a purpose. There's not one person that's living that does not have a purpose. You are here for a reason. Whatever that reason is, express it. That is your lane. Stay in that lane. Be original. No, because really, that's really what the cause of unhappiness is, and we striving for love, peace, and happiness, right?
Right.
Part of that love, peace, and happiness is saying, you know what? I'm here on this planet for a reason.
But you can't have that if you don't have knowledge, wisdom, understanding, food, clothing, and shelter, which brings the love, peace, and happiness. 'Cause with no money, there's no honey.
No,
but it is.
That's real
No
talk.
money,
Ain't no
honey.
bread, ain't nothing being said. You feel me? Check
In
it out.
fact, that's one of your lyrics, God. Gamora, that's one of your lyrics in one of the songs you had, huh?
Yeah, man.
That money good really ain't into you.
Yeah, they not listening to you. You know, the kids ain't listening to you. Nobody, you broke. But
All right.
get that economy, share with our brothers, prosperity, and you know.
And you know,
it's all of that, man. We
it's
just
another
got to be
thing.
able to share with each other, love each other, and that's how we build a community.
Right. And there's another
Find
thing.
yourself, find your brother.
For the
Don't
youth.
forget your sisters too.
You know, as far as you listening to the guy Gamar, Soul King, and one thing that I want y'all to understand as far as underground MCs, and you know, you may want to say whomever it is, they're broke, you know, but I can tell you right now, the underground scene is
huge.
really strong. But more
Huge.
than that, unless the underground MC is a female, they don't wear makeup. So when you see them in those videos that they're putting out
On YouTube.
they're not wearing makeup. So your favorite rapper is always wearing makeup. That's
Wow.
you got about that.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you think
yeah.
about that before you say someone is
Yeah,
broke.
and you know what? Also, you're talking about the underground scene, God. The underground scene, as you said, is huge. I mean, that's a huge, huge market, and you got tons of real MCs, real artists that need to be discovered, and that's why independence is the key now. We can't be we can't go out with our hand out looking for something that don't exist in this no more.
Right.
We got to take control of our own life, take control of our own situation, and begin to master that. Know and understand that, and then now begin to make a way for ourselves. You know, I have one artist, this brother I met, his name is Cali Joe. YouTube, brother, he got a lot of stuff out there. This brother is serious. Real good brother, man, and got a lot of stuff going on. But because he's not a part of a camp that people know, then no one's checking for him.
Yeah, man, and that's the word. That's a whole. Could we do part two? That'd be part two.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Man.
do. We're getting low on time, so we're gonna have to definitely do a part two. But we definitely want to leave y'all with some things that we'd like you to do, view, and read. First and foremost, read the book "Born to Use Mics." Another good book is "The Tao of the Wu" by the RZA. What we want you to view is Something from Nothing: The Art of Rap on Netflix. And what we want you to do is, if you're of a younger age, we'd like you to go back and study some of the origin or the original people who developed hip-hop and its origins from the 80s, 90s, and things of that nature. And if you're older, go look at some of the new cats that are out there. So you got
some Kendrick Lamar.
Joey Badass.
Fat Sean is dope.
Fat Sean,
Fat Sean is dope.
Also-
Joey Badass, he's definitely dope.
You got a lot of good artists out there, man. All they need now is just, you know what I'm saying, a connection to the people, man, and get out there and make it happen.
Right. So I know, like I said, the God's the MC. So if he wants to take us out with a quick, you know what I mean?
A little quick bars.
Yeah.
Give us
check it
16
out.
bars. That's the God number, knowledge equality.
Okay, check it out.
Planet Earth.
Supreme Era, the Montero Terror. From the land of sombreros, drinking El Negros. A villain over violin like hero. 1,000 arrows shooting at me, but not even scratch on my elbow. I'm ghetto and I know it. Drink cognac, not Moet. Street hop poet, the fresh twister, blunt twister, Bacardi rum sipper. The Jack Twister, 2-dip ripper. Style flipper. The light and dark liquor. Love black girls cause they thicker in the land of 5.0 on the Richter. The party down mixer. Weedy elixir. To the real street scripture. A street fixture, yo. We do everything to celebrate. We got a lot of love and a little hate. That's why my style will marinate, cause if not, I'll be a menace like Lawrence Tate. playing old dog, so we go hard in the hole, then end it with a finger roll.
Yeah. So
That's what it is, man.
Before we check out though, where can they get you at? God?
www.soulkingsk.com. Check out for the Sure. I'm on the Antics tour coming up. We're gonna be in Canoga Park, Whittier, also San Diego. Follow me on SoulKing_SK on Twitter. Like me on Facebook, Soul King. And yeah, man, 316 is the next album. It's gonna be a worldly album, so I'm gonna rap in French, Creole, and English.
Wow.
So, I'm trying to get to the brothers all over the planet Earth, because there's about 4,400,000,000 of us there. But you feel me? So, that's the project. Tabernacle MCs, of course, is on there. A lot of other brothers is on there, man. So we resurrecting the B-boy, man. He's been crucified, so we bringing it back.
That's right.
Okay. All right, that's peace. So we want to thank y'all for tuning in to Knowledge Self Radio, and we'll get with you next week. Peace.
Yeah. Soul King. Beat by default.